And there it is, Thin Lizzy, of course, music from them. This is Phil talking about Midge Ure, who was once a member of Lizzy.
On the Black Rose album, we did Get Out of Here. And on the solo album, I wanted to do something which lent more to what Midge is doing. I mean, Midge is making a lot of jokes, but I mean, he's a really good producer. He's done the Visage things, he's done a few things with Snips. And like, when we got together after the experiences in Japan, we got this song together, and he came down and played a lot of the keyboards on it, and we got Billy from Ultravox as well to play some stuff on it. And it's just interesting in sound. It doesn't, like, this is the track that really shocks a lot of people when they listen to the solo album, because they think it sounds nothing like what they expect from me.
Right, well listen, I haven't heard it. This is going to be my first time as well. So let's give a listen then to Solo in Soho album. Yellow Pearl, that was there. That's written by Midge Ure and Phil Lynott, and that's from Solo in Soho, to be released, as I say, on the 18th of this month. That's Friday week, the solo LP from Phil Lynott. Obviously. Alright. I was just looking at this thing here. Oh yes, I knew there was something. He mentioned Snips earlier on, Midge.
Yeah.
Were you playing around with Snips?
Was that playing around with Snips? Is this a leading question?
It is.
Yeah, Snips got in touch with me about 9 months ago, and we got together and I hauled my synthesizer over to his place.
Were you on that Video Kings album from him?
No, I wasn't. No, I've done the stuff after that. We had a single out, his last single, 9 O'Clock, which did fairly well. It was getting a lot of airplay in Radio 1. And it was doing really well. I produced that for him, and I'm doing one the day we get back. The day I get back from the Irish tour, we're going and rattle off another one. I mean, you know, get down to work on it.
Right. So, like, as you said earlier, we're only touring around with Thin Lizzy for the Irish tour.
Yeah.
So, Ultravox will definitely get together and bring out an album and tour.
Ultravox have already, I mean, like in between doing the Japan thing and bits and pieces, we've done 2 months in America. Doing the club circuit, because Ultravox are like sort of cult heroes out there, which is really good. Ultravox is my main thing. Everything else is secondary, you know. It's all been well said.
Right. So, like, are you going to play with Thin Lizzy again?
Only if they ask me. Oh yeah. I'm sure it's
well, if they were to ask you tomorrow, listen, Midge, we need a 5th member of the band. We definitely want a permanent keyboard player. If that was to happen, would you say yes?
I don't know, I'm such a talented guy, I don't know.
It's unrestricted in Thin Lizzy.
I don't know if they can afford me now.
And there it is, Midge Ure, Phil Lynott. That's from just a few years ago, from back in '81. Here's Phil Lynott talking about the Renegade album.
I thought Renegade, like, is a positive side of that, and I think the best is yet to come. I mean, even, like, the keyboards, initially, you know, when I was here before, when some interview I did, you know, I said Darren was just going to be like a ghost member, but now he's become a permanent member, and like, because he is so good on the keyboards, like, he keeps, you know, pushing forward and getting spots on it, you know, so I think, you know, the best is yet to come.
Well, hold on, to go back to guitars for a second, you mentioned Brian Robertson and you mentioned Gary Moore. Snowy White has taken a lot of the writing credits on this album as well. Like, is he that much an important member of the band that he's a permanent member for the next however many years?
No, he's only down for 2, you know, which you co-wrote with me, so...
Yeah.
I mean, look, he can write, you know, but Scott did a lot more of the writing on this than he's ever done on any of the other albums.
Alright, well, explain me to this one. If Darren is such an important member of the band, why isn't he on the cover? That's his hand on the cover, right?
Yeah, that's his arm on the cover, you know. I don't know. It was just a mess up with the record, the big bad record company. We were in such a rush to get the album out, somebody forgot to tell the record company that we were a 5-piece.
Did you miss the photo session, Darren?
No, I didn't actually, but it was just one of those things, you know. I mean, the last 2 years have been so good for me anyway, I mean, naturally I was upset.
Don't mind me, right?
Well, you played plenty of dates in Ireland before with Lizzy, but at the time, as Philip said, you were just
for a week.
you were just playing the keyboards on stage. You weren't a member of the band, and now you're a full-time member. Do you see yourself as Philip sees you?
As what?
As a full-time member of the band?
Oh yeah, I mean, I always felt, I mean, I always told people I was a member anyway.
Well, are you offering anything to the songs in the studios, or is it just a sort of a live thing for you?
Oh no, I mean, I was there from the beginning of Renegade. Really, that's my first proper major Lizzy album.
What?
And where were you before that?
Well, I used to work in a studio in Manchester, and I used to do a lot of sessions around Manchester and work around all the local bands in there.
What about the cabaret sake?
Oh, the cabaret circuit, yeah, well, that was when I was 15, so I try and keep this,
Well, the
they
Renegade...
slug me down for this.
The Renegade LP was supposed to be called Living Out Somebody Else's Dream. Was that the original title for the Renegade album?
I'm not sure. I know I had a song called Living Out Somebody Else's Dream, which is now on the solo album, but I'm not sure if we were going to do that as I call it that. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember at one stage we were going to do a concept album, you know, and what it was, we were going to call the album Trouble Boys.
The Billy Brownway single thing.
Yeah, and because it wasn't a hit, I got
So what about these live tracks that we have here, which we're going to play in a few minutes' time, like we've been playing them for the past few weeks? These are from the Hammersmith Odeon in London on a recent tour.
Yeah. Actually, the BBC recordings, because we did it for the BBC, and but they gave us the rights to use them, so I took them over and gave them to you.
Yeah. And the solo album as well, which is Fatalistic Attitude, which will be out when?
I don't know, because Yellow Pearl was a hit, and we didn't want to release my album at the same time as the Lizzy album. They held back on the album, so I'd say about April, May.
Right. April, May. So, well, hold on, before we even talk about that, before we go into the musicians and the tracks as well, there's one or two things I want to say about one of the tracks that we played in the programme. I think we're going to do something else entirely different. We're going to play a live track from Thin Lizzy, from the Renegade album, from the ones from the Hammersmith. But first of all, I think we're going to take a news headline, since we didn't take at midnight, and I think we're going to go to Kate Smith sometime around now.
With counting continuing in...
Ireland win the World Cup. And what was the first one again?
And who will win the Triple Crown?
Oh, who will win the Triple Crown, right, okay. There's only 3 right answers, so if you think you know what they are, you can phone in.
The first people that phone
at
in.
693833, and you'll win, 3 people will win 2 tickets each for the gig tomorrow in the RDS. Speaking of the gigs, by the way, there are other gigs as well. In fact, you can start ringing in right now if you want to. Also, by the way, we're going on till 3 o'clock in the morning here on the Rock programme, 25 to 1, which is in about... take a little bit of a tape now of Phil Lynott talking on the Rock show some time back about how he met Brian Downey.